Hello, it is 9 p.m. in RT. It's time to English New Edition. For tonight headlines. We have Djibouti prepares a major economic transformations from logistics to industry. Iran-US talks continue following significant progress towards our approachment. Welcome to our newsroom. The Minister of Foreign Affairs Djibouti expresses deep compassion and feels solidarity with the brotherly state of Qatar following the explosion. The Republic of Djibouti learned with deep sadness of the explosions that occurred at the liquefied natural gas facilities in the Ras Lafan industrial zone, causing loss of life and numerous injuries. On this painful occasion, the Republic of Djibouti expresses its deep compassion and feels solidarity with the brotherly state of Qatar. The Republic of Djibouti extends its sincere condolence to the government and people of Qatar, as well as to the bereaved families, and wishes a speedy recovery to those injured. Djibouti reaffirms its support for Qatar and shares the sorrow of the sister nations in the face of this tragedy. Djibouti and China strategic partnership. The Minister Ilyas Musa Dawale visits Exim Bank of China in Beijing. As part of the continued strengthening of the strategic partnership between the Republic of Djibouti and the People's Republic of China, the Minister of Economy and Finance in charge of Industry, Ilyas Musa Dawale, carried out an important working visit today to the headquarters of the Exim Bank of China in Beijing, leading a high-level delegation. This mission is part of an effort to consolidate bilateral cooperation and promote sustainable economic development based on a shared vision of prosperity and regional integration. The visit began with an official reception chaired by Ms. Yang Dongning, Vice President of the Exim Bank of China. In her welcoming remarks, Ms. Yang highlighted Djibouti's strategic role within China's Africa cooperation and praised the remarkable progress achieved by the countries in developing its logistics and transport infrastructure. She also reaffirmed the commitment of the Exim Bank of China to supporting Djibouti's ambitions to strengthen its position as a leading industrial, commercial, and financial platform in the region. The day's discussions also brought together several major Chinese companies, providing a valuable platform for dialogue between economic stakeholders from both countries. Speaking on the occasion, the Minister Ilyas Musa Dawale expressed his gratitude to the Vice President for the warm welcomes extended to the Djiboutian delegation and for organizing this important meeting. This day reflects the vitality and depth of cooperation between our two countries by bringing together leading Chinese companies around the opportunities offered by Djibouti. The Exim Bank of China is helping transform our shared ambitions into the concrete project that serves industrial development, said the Minister. The Minister highlighted three major areas of cooperation. As the 49th anniversary of the national independence approaches, the Republic of Djibouti is launching a series of activities focused on unity, social cohesion, and civic participation. In this context, Her Excellency Fardousa Moussa Ige, Minister of Youth and Culture, is accompanied by Ms. Fatouma Ali Abdallah, Secretary of State for Sports, officially launched the sporting, cultural, and socio-cultural activities planned throughout the countries to commemorate this historic event. This initiative, led by the Ministry of Youth and Culture, aims to make the national holiday a moment of unity and the transmissions of Republican values. On this occasion, several young people from Djibouti from CDC received sports kits designed to encourage participation in sports and reinforce the values of discipline, solidarity, and citizenship. The launch ceremony, held in Balbala in the presence of local authorities and industrial institutional leaders, marks the beginning of a national mobilization dedicated to youth and social cohesion. The Sheikh Musa Community Development Center hosted the first stage of this tower with the launch of the Independence Football Tournament. Beyond the sporting aspect, these competitions illustrate the government's commitment to supporting an active youth aware of its role in preserving national achievement and building the country's future. In an in an atmosphere embodied with fraternity and patriotism. The young participants demonstrated that sports remains a powerful vehicle for social cohesion, integration, and the sharing of Republican values. Continuing this outreach effort, the Minister and the Secretary of State also visited the Sheikh Musa Community Development Center, where they meet with the members of the community councils to discuss initiatives for young people, the center's development prospect, and its role in supporting training and mentoring youth. The ministerial delegation also launched a ping-pong tournament on the ground opposite the Sheikh Musa RPP Annex, bringing together participants of different generations. This activity reflects the desire to strengthen intergenerational ties. And now listen to the national reflections of the 2014 National Sports Policy, concluded with major strategic directions after 2 days of intense discussions and consultations among key stakeholders in the sports sector. The national workshop dedicated to developing the 2014-7 National Sport Policy concluded today at the Sheraton Djibouti Hotel. The work conducted under the supervision of Tunisian experts Salahuddin Boudina resulted in the identification of the main directions of a future sports strategy tailored to national ambitions, bringing together representatives from national sports federations, members of the sports movement, public administration officials, academic institutional partners. This meeting represents a significant step in the process of developing a new strategic framework for sports development in Djibouti. Over the 2 days of discussions, participants engaged in depth reflections on the main challenges facing sports sectors. These discussions led to the identifications of priority and the proposal of concrete solutions for building a modern, inclusive, and high-performing sports models consistent with the objectives of the Djibouti Vision 2047. In her address, she praised the Minister of Sports, praised the quality of the work carried out and the commitment of all participants.
This national workshop on the 2047 National Sport Policy represents a significant step in our commitment to building a sporting future that lives up to our country's ambition. The rich and constructive discussion held over these 2 days allows us to identify the challenges facing this sector and to develop a strategic direction for building a modern, inclusive, and high-performing sport model. I would like to commend the commitment of all participants, particularly the sport federation, governments, officials, experts, and partners who contributed to the success of this meeting. The conclusion of this workshop forms an essential basis for finalizing our future national sport policy. Its success will depend on everyone's involvement. We must join forces to provide our youth with a sporting environment that fosters excellence, personal development, and social cohesion. Together we have a responsibility to transform this vision into reality and to build a stronger, more inclusive, and more successful Djiboutian sport.
At the invitations of the Ministry of Employment, Vocational and Technical Trainings of the Republic of Senegal, a delegation from the Ministry of National Education and Vocational Training of the Republic of Djibouti, led by the Secretary General Mohamed Abdallah Mahayoub, took part in the National Skills Competition Teranga Skills held in Dakar from June 18 to 2026. The delegation also included Mahdi Omar Farah, General Inspector of Administration, Mohamed Abdi Gedi, Director General of Vocational Training, and Mr. Fathiya Hassan, Director of Vocational Training Institutions and Skills Development. This mission is part of effort to strengthen South-South cooperations and consolidate exchanges between French-speaking countries committed to promoting vocational training, youth employment, and skills development. On the sidelines of the event, the Secretary General of the Ministry participated in the official signing ceremony of the accession protocol of the Republic of Djibouti to the Francophone Skills Olympics. This competition protocol, whose first signatories include France, Senegal, Guinea, the Republic of Cote d'Ivoire, the Republic of Madagascar, the Kingdom of Morocco, the French Institute for Education and Training of the Francophonie, the World Skills France, Canada, and Djibouti aims to promote excellences in professional trades, enhance user skills, strengthen exchanges between vocational training systems in French-speaking countries, and supporting the development of a qualified workforce that meets the needs of economies within the Francophone community. The Francophone Skills Olympics will be organized on a rotating basis among the member countries that have signed the agreement. They represent a platform for cooperation and competition, enabling young talent to demonstrate their expertise, share experiences, and promote excellence in technical and professional fields. Faced with the growing challenges posed by the vector-borne disease, the National Institute of Public Health of Djibouti continues to strengthen its technical capacity in order to improve health surveillance, prevention, and response mechanisms. In this context, the Institute today concluded a training course dedicated to the identification of sandflies, insect vector responsible for the transmissions of visceral leishmaniasis and cutaneous leishmaniasis, conducted over a period of 15 days. This training helped strengthen the skills of ENSPD entomologists in identifying the different sandfly species involved in the transmissions of this disease, thereby contributing to improving the entomological surveillance across the national territory. This initiative follows the results of weekly epidemiological surveillance which revealed the presence of sandflies in several areas of the country. It aims to consolidate national capacity for the detection, monitoring, and control of vector-borne disease through enhanced technical expertise. The implementation of this training was made possible thanks to the continuous support of the World Health Organization, a committed partner alongside Djibouti in strengthening the capacity of the national health systems. This activity also aligns with the visions of Ms. Muna Usman Aden, Minister of Health, who places particular emphasis on strengthening national expertise, improving health surveillance systems, and preparing the countries face various public health challenges. Long before Djibouti gained independence, another form of resistance was already taking shape. The resistance of culture through their songs, theater performance, and artistic creations. Djiboutian artists carried hope, raised awareness, and helped preserve the identity of the people in the faces of the colonial systems. Listen for in this magazine.
Resistance to colonial rule took many forms throughout Djibouti's history, yet no account of the struggle for independence would be complete without acknowledging the invaluable contribution of artists, singers, musicians, playwrights, actors, composers, and poets. Through their talent and creativity, they kept alive the flame of hope and determination, helping to awaken political consciousness among the people. Cultural movements evolved alongside the fight for freedom. Popular songs became powerful tools for spreading messages of resistance and independence, despite censorship and repression. From Aden to Hargeisa, from Mogadishu to Djibouti, the voices of artists echoed the people's desire for emancipation. Radio played a crucial role in this movement, becoming a major platform through which artists conveyed their messages to a wider audience. The first musical group began appearing regularly on the airwaves of Radio Djibouti as early as 1955. Despite efforts by the colonial administration to control this growing cultural dynamism, artistic expression continued to flourish. The creation of a Radio Djibouti had a profound impact on the lives and careers of many local and regional artists. The 1960s and 1970s marked a turning point in the development of Djiboutian music and song. Cultural associations multiplied in working-class neighborhoods, offering new spaces for artistic expression. Although these clubs operated legally under colonial rule, they remained under constant threat of closure. Still, nothing could halt the growing pro-independence movement. Groups such as the Tomao, Ganman, Gilemao, Degan, and Al-Kawakib placed their art at the service of the nationalist cause. Many artists used their words and performance to inspire resistance. Among the most influential figures were Abdi Sinimo, Johari, Ali Udum, Ibrahim Gabariere, Lazi, Forshet, Talha, Abdo Babo, Hassan Ilmi, Adan Diriye, Ali Gab, Abdurrahman Ali, and Ibrahim Garle. Some of the area's most memorable songs were performed by Saeed Harmgood and Bilila. Songs such as Dona 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 and Gabamino became symbols of hope and resilience. Filled with poetic language and political awareness, this song celebrated the dream of independence through metaphors and subtle references. To avoid colonial censorship, artists often disguise political messages within songs that appear to be about love. Together, musicians and composers dedicated their creativity and lyrical talent to the struggle for independence. The performance organized crowds during public gatherings and demonstrations. Like religious leaders, they also played a vital role in preserving cultural identity and resisting assimilation. It was therefore only natural that artists composed and performed songs celebrating independence on 27th of June 1977. Djiboutians continue to honor the enduring legacy of Kharchile, who composed the music of the national anthem based on the song Koreare. Threats theater also emerged as one of the country's most influential forms of artistic expression. In a society deeply rooted in oral traditions, dramatic performances became a powerful medium for communication and awareness. Every concert presented by groups such as the Tomao, Ganman, Are, Eglemao, and Degan provided opportunities to stage new theatrical productions, carried out cultural themes, and implement messages of independence. Drawing open the richness and subtlety of local languages, playwrights developed innovative ways of bypassing colonial censorship. Musical comedies and theatrical performances were interwoven with songs that reinforced hidden messages of resistance. Colonial authorities were often portrayed indirectly through humor, satire, and symbolism. Through wit and sarcasm, artists exposed exploitation, injustice, and the arrogance of colonial rule. Towards the end of the 1950s, an important episode transformed the lives of several members of the Territorial Guard. Their protests against poor working conditions evolved into a broader rejection of colonial domination. In 1962, a theatrical play known as ADD depicted the humiliation endured by indigenous people forced to perform degrading tasks under colonial authority. The production sparked a wave of protests among colonial police officers, some of whom abandoned their posts. They later formed their own cultural hub, Date Mao, before traveling to neighboring Somalia, which had recently gained independence. 1968, Adam Farah Samatar joined the renowned Arid Troupe, which actively supported the struggle for independence. Then he worked alongside Ibrahim Bari, considered as his spiritual mentor, as well as permanent nationalist figures such as Yunus Salah Yusuf and Hassan Ali Shirdon. Another influential group, Ganman, built an impressive theatrical repertoire from the 1970s onwards. Among its notable productions was Tanaya Fale, written by Hassan Ilmi in 1973. The troupe also highlighted the talents of Fadundu Ali, who performed some of her most celebrated songs with Muhammad Adan Dukshi. Other important figures in Djiboutian theatre included Hamadou Dabale and Hassan El-Midiri. Memorable productions such as Sadbeh Haisuf and Jingniyu left a lasting impression on audiences. Adam Farah also wrote the celebrated play Humad Rag'i Hina Sudmar in 1970. He co-founded the Ganman troupe alongside Ibrahim Bari. Throughout his career, he composed numerous theatrical works including War Lahan and Larderis. In conclusion, the world of arts and culture played a fundamental role in Djibouti's strategic against colonial rule. Through music, theater, and poetry, artists help awaken political consciences and strengthen the desire for self-determination. Ironically, institutions such as the Salin Theater and the ORTF, the predecessor of today's RTD, established in 1956 partly to channel public discontent, ultimately became platforms that amplified nationalist aspirations. The credit therefore belongs to these pioneers, to the singers, musicians, actors, playwrights, composers, and poets who placed their talent at the service of freedom. Their commitment to the independence movement has left Djibouti with a rich and enduring cultural heritage that continues to inspire future generations.
The National Agency for Persons with Disabilities and the United Nations systems in Djibouti have reached a new milestones in their cooperation with the signing this morning of the 2026 Joint Annual Work Plan. This initiative reflects a shared commitment to strengthening efforts aimed at ensuring the full and effective inclusions of persons with disabilities within Djiboutian society. The signing ceremony was held in the presence of the United Nations Resident Coordinator in Djibouti, Mr. Jose Barahona, and the Director General of NPH, Duale Saeed Mahmoud. Their presence highlighted the importance attached to this strategic partnership built around solidarity, equal opportunities, and respect for the rights of persons with disabilities. The 2026 Annual Joint A joint annual work plan focuses on several priority areas aimed at strengthening inclusive governance, improving access to essential social services, promoting the better social protections, and ensuring more equitable access to healthcare services. A particular attention will be given to the economic empowerment of persons with disability, especially women, youth, and the most vulnerable group. The roadmap also includes significant support for the final evaluations process of the National Disability Strategy 2021-2025. It will also help lay the foundations for the future National Disability Strategy 2026-2035, which will be developed through a participatory approach and supported a budgetary action plan to ensure effective and sustainable implementation through the signing of this work agreement. And PIASHA and United Nations system reaffirmed their commitment to continue joint effort to build a more inclusive, equitable, and accessible Djiboutian society for all citizens without distinctions. The renewed cooperation represents a significant step forward in promoting the rights of persons with disability and reflect the determinations of partners to make social inclusion a key pillar of sustainable development in Djibouti. Like other national police detachments deployed across the country, the police officers of the Ali Sabih regional headquarters under the command of Captain Suleiman Farah Awale celebrated this Monday, June 22, 2026, the 49th anniversary of the creation of their institution. For the occasion, the barracks, recently renovated and decorated in the national color, hosted the commemorative ceremony held every year on June 22. Just before the celebrations of the National Independence Day. The ceremony was chaired by the prefect of the Al Sabih region, Abdul Malik Muhammad Benoita, and brought together the president of the regional council, Sharmaki Hassan Al-Ali, the commander of the armed forces, and in the region is Osman Abdallah, the head of the National Gendarmerie Brigade, as well as representatives of state services, traditional leaders, and several civil society figures. The celebration began with a troop inspections and a salute of honor to the national flag, accompanied by the performance of the national anthem in the presence of the prefect and the commanders of the National Police Detachment.
أماكن الصغير لو سحدة ويا أماكن الصغير لو سحدة ويا صوم جستياشن لسر عالي كرني كيسك ساغودا صوتي ما هذا الكينيو
Discours du directeur général de la police nationale, le colonel Abdelrahman Ali Kaï, à l'occasion du 49e anniversaire de la création de la police nationale. C'est avec une profonde émotion que je m'adresse à toutes et à tous aujourd'hui à l'occasion de la célébration du 49e anniversaire de la création de la police nationale. Avant de commencer mes propos, je voudrais tout d'abord renouveler.
Following the parade, the regional authorities, guests and officers, non-commissioned officers took part in the anniversary receptions hosted by the head of the Al Sabih Police Detachment, Captain Suleiman Farah Awale. The celebration marking the 49th anniversary of the creation of the National Police concluded with the laying of the forest in tribute to police officers who lost their lives while serving the nation at the memorial site dedicated to their memory.
ammaankeena sugaye lagu seexda weeyaan ammaankeena sugaye lagu seexda weeyaan booliisku siduu yahay anidin sifayne waa kuwa saqafyada sagda dhexe habeenkii surimada wareeye ammaankeena sugaye
الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم إن على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن
sanad guurahoodiyo saaka waa dharaartii loo taagay seeske la sameeye booliis saaqa dhan baxaysiyo saacabkiiyo miisigu sumadooda weeyo sanad guurahoodiyo saaka waa dharaartii loo taagay seeske la sameeye booliis booliisku siduu yahay anidin sifayne waa kuwa saqafyada sagda dhexe habeenkii surimada wareeye ammaankeena sugaye lagu seexda weeyaan ammaankeena sugaye lagu seexda weeyaan booliisku siduu yahay anidin sifayne waa kuwa saqafyada sagda dhexe habeenkii surimada wareeye ammaankeena sugaye lagu seexda weeyaan ammaankeena sugaye lagu seexda weeyaan soo majestayaashan la sircaadi karine kuwa soofta darane si bidhaaya nabadiyo dadka kii sigsaag wada soodimaha dalkeeniyo surimada ujooje seeteeya weeyaan boolis boolis seeteeya weeyaan boolis amaha tarteeniyo wanaagaad samayseen sooyaalka qoraniyo saadarkuu ku yaala sooyaalka qoraniyo saadarkuu ku yaala.
Like other national police detachments across the country, the officers of the Obok Region's National Police under the leadership of Lieutenant Iwada celebrated this Monday, June 22, 2026, the 49th anniversary of the creation of the National Police. On this occasion, an official ceremony was held at the Obok National Police Barracks. The commemorative event brought together the region's administrative, military, and civil authorities. The ceremony was attended by the prefect of Obok Region, Musa Adam Migane, a representative of the Obok Regional Councils, as well as community leaders, representative of the armed forces, the National Gendarmerie, and civil society. The celebration began with the arrival and welcoming of the authorities, followed by a troop inspections conducted by the prefect of the Obok region alongside Lieutenant Iwada. This solemn moment allowed the officials to salute the national police officers mobilized for this important commemoration, marking the 49th anniversary. Concerning the regional news, Ethiopia launches a unified digital platform to modernize public services.
Ahmed launches Africa's first unified digital service platform and reaffirms Ethiopia's prosperity and petition. Ethiopia Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed affirmed that the vision of making Ethiopia an African model of prosperity is gradually taking shape across all sectors, with the launch of the innovative digital public service platform MINSOP presented as a first for the African continent. Speaking at the opening of the Digital Excellence exhibition at the Senise Museum, the Prime Minister invited the MINSOP application, a one-stop shop bringing together 27 public services from various institutions within an integrated digital system. According to Abiy Ahmed, this initiative is part of the government's ongoing reform to modernize public administration and improve citizens' access to government services. He emphasized that the investment in digital technologies contributed to strengthen the efficiency of institutions and the productivity of strategic sectors such as agriculture, industry, tourism, and financial services. The Prime Minister also noted that the MINSOP network now has 17 operational centers across the country in just 1 year, a rate of expansion he described an exceptional African scale. He explained that the new application now allows citizens to access a government service anytime, anywhere via their mobile phones, aiding that this digital transformation positions Ethiopia among the most advanced countries on the continent in this area. Abiy Ahmed also highlighted the role of innovation and artificial intelligence in the country's development strategy, stating that the future university indicated the artificial intelligence will help make Ethiopia a leading African hub for technology and innovation. The Prime Minister finally reaffirmed his government's invitation to build a modern economy capable of delivering a lasting prosperity to future generations, believing that the progress made demonstrates that Ethiopia's development goals are not within reach.
For the international scene, Iran and U.S. talks continues to reduce regional tensions. Negotiations between Iran and U.S. are continuing in Switzerland amid progress on several sensitive issues. The discussion focused in particular on regional security, military de-escalation, economic sanctions, maritime security in the Strait of Hormuz, and cooperation with the International Atomic Energy Agency. Iranian, American, and international mediator representatives have reaffirmed their commitment to diplomatic dialogue in order to preserve stability in the Middle East. The next technical and political meetings are expected to deepen discussions and seek new compromises despite ongoing differences. The World Cup, Messi qualifies Argentina, France defeats Iraq, Algeria strengthens its chance. Listen for more details.
Argentina captain Lionel Messi led his team to the round of 16 of the 2026 World Cup by scoring twice in Argentina's 2-0 victory over Australia on Monday in Group G. With these two goals, Messi has now scored 18 World Cup goals, further cemented his status as a legend of world football. The Argentine number 10 was once again instrument in the Albicelestes reign, the reigning world champion. Dominating throughout the match, Argentina controls the game against an Australian side that never-seriously troubled the South America. This victory secured Lionel Scaloni's main qualification for the knockout stage even before their final group match. In the other matches of the day, France comically defeated Iraq 3-0 and thanks to the strong performance that solidified their position in Group E. In Group A, Norway meanwhile prevailed against Senegal 3-2 in a spectacular and thrilling match. Algeria scored an important victory against Jordan 2-1, posting their chance of qualifying for the next round. This result illustrated the intensity of the competition as the group stage draws to a close, while the Bavarians continue their journey towards the knockout stage. Lionel Messi continues to make history in world football with a more top-level performance, confirming his central role in Argentina's ambition to retain the world title.
And this is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.